Good morning, guys. Welcome to today's DNA. Today is 26th of November, and today is also the Constitution Day of India. So, happy Constitution Day to all of you. Let's begin with a quote. Great leaders created our Constitution, great citizen keeping it alive. The Constitution of India was made by great people, the founding fathers, who had the knowledge and the idea about the social hierarchy and social basis of India, who made a great constitution. But the living document, as the constitution is said, is kept alive by the great citizens. How? By following the civic rules, by believing in democracy, by participating in democracy, and believing in social harmony. Okay. With this thought, let's start today's discussion. So, these are the topics that we are going to cover today. These are the topics for prelims, and these are the topic for mains. So, first topic of the day for prelims will be GM crop. Okay. So, the news goes like this, that 6 years on and mystery over illegal GM seed source stay unsolved. So, the issue involves genetically modified brinjal. Okay. So, in 2009, this was given go ahead by GECA. Now, later in 2010, this it was banned from commercial use in 2010. Okay. Now, in 2019, it was found that in certain parts of Haryana, this BT brinjal or genetically modified brinjal was being grown. Okay. And then activists took this up and they complained about it. They filed RTIs. Okay. Environmentalists also filed RTIs, and they did not find a source or trace to it. So, there has been no proper investigation, and there has been no arrest, and the culprit for this has not been found yet. So, this article is on the same issue. Now, GM as a topic, genetically modified crop as a topic, has been a recurring theme in UPSC, particularly in prelims. If you see this has been asked since past 15 years, 15-20 years, this has been a recurring theme. So, please go through these questions. Now, coming to genetically modified crops. Okay. What is genetically modified crop? Okay. Genetically modified crop are experimental plants or animals that have been genetically engineered in laboratory. Okay. Genetically engineered in laboratory with DNA from other plants, animal, bacteria and viruses. Particularly with cases to GM crops, the main agenda is to have a pest resistant or drought resistant variant of the plant species. So, this is a very scientific process, and the following processes are involved in a genetically modified crop, from traditional breeding to mutagenesis, RNA interference, transgenesis and genetic editing. Okay. This process is very important. So, this process is followed in genetically modified crops. Now, when we come to India, the genetically modified crops are very sensitive. Okay. Apart from BT brinjal, there is no other commercially available genetically modified crop in India. Okay. So, in India, with respect to regulatory and the processes, these are certain ministries and bodies involved. Okay. So, Ministry of Environment and Forest and Climate Change, Genetically Engineering Appraisal Committee, GCA, it is the body that gives the final approval for environmental release after environmental clearances and all other investigations. Apart from this, there is Department of Biotechnology that oversees the advisory role, okay, for DNA Advisory Committee sees that. Then we have review committee for genetic manipulation. Okay, they set up the guidelines and scientific risk assessment. State Biotechnology Coordination Committee. Then we have District Coordination Committee, and then we have Institutional Biosafety Committee. So, these two seize the GM crop at local level. All these are the regulatory bodies. Okay. When genetically modified crops are grown and is circulated in the market, FSSAI is the body that regulatory of food derived from genetically modified organisms. They oversee what are its impact, how it is distributed, who are consuming it, is it fit, is it not fit, what are the changes, what is the variation that is happening when people start consuming such food. Okay. So, FSSAI gives the final good to go authority if you can use it commercially in for consumption purposes. Okay. So, GEAC gives the final approval for environmental release. Okay, you can actually grow it, but can you grow and can you consume it? Okay. Once the matter of consumption comes, FSSAI takes over. Okay. So, if you see in India, there is BT cotton. So, it has been approved for environmental release. So, BT cotton is grown in India, at least 95% of the cotton that is grown in India is BT cotton. But when it comes to, let us say, BT brinjal or mustard, okay, particularly in case of mustard and brinjal, final approval have been given by GEAC, but the approval for the consumption purposes have been banned. Okay, that we will see in the next slide. Okay. So, these are few facts about GEAC, and these are the functions, these are the basic fact. It comes under the Ministry of Environment. Okay. Chairman, special secretary or additional secretary is its chairman. The Departmental of Biotechnology co-chairs the body. Apart from this, now if you see India's experiment with brinjal, there are main 3 crops. Okay. If you see BT brinjal grown in India for over a decade, output 4-fold. It began in 2002 and it has, the production has resulted in 4x increase. It has given 4x increase in production growth. Okay. 95% of crop is under BT cotton, but BT cotton is supposed to be immune to pest, crumbled under white fly attack in 2015. So, the pests have become pest resistant with BT cotton also. Okay. 95% of the crops were damaged and crisis were blamed for farmer suicide. Now, coming to BT brinjal, the main character of the day, the main character of our news. Okay. It was approved, though this was approved by approved for cultivation by GECA in 2009. Protests saw that then Environmental Minister Jairam Ramesh putting an indefinite ban on cultivation in 2010. Okay. GECA has given BT mustard the go ahead. Okay. So, it was approved by GEAC, sorry. Okay. Brinjal farmer would be dependent on MNCs for seed and the company that makes them argued anti-GM campaign that followed. Okay. Now, coming to GE mustard. GE mustard, first GM food crop. Food crop means it can be consumed too. Okay. But it has also faced a lot of opposition from the environmentalists and activists. So, this is also kept on hold as of now. Okay. Now, what are the environmental impact, what are the positive impact and what are the negative impacts? When we talk of impacts, there are possibility of genetic hazards. Okay. Since the crop itself has been modified genetically, so it has the possibility of genetic mutation being passed over to other animals too, not only humans, any other animals. Even the pest who attack can be genetically mutated. Okay. Exactly the reason why there has been a issue of pest resistant attack that we saw in case of BT cotton. Now, ecological toxicity. Okay. Obviously, ecological toxicity is a very obvious thing that follows. So, you have learned the concept of bio accumulation, biomagnification, okay, those concepts will come here. Now, there will be a superweed who will be very difficult to curb. Okay. So, there is a possibility that we may have a superweed that can grow or become so pest resistant that even genetically modified crop and pest control will not suffice. Now, what is the positive impact? There is nutritional content, then there is food processing that gets better, nutrition gets better, and lesser exposure to insecticides. Okay. Now, this is very important for food security in India. Okay. And from food security, we are actually moving towards nutritional security. So, in both the cases, BT, cotton, this genetically modified crops can be very important. And coming to second news of the day, so we are actually celebrating 350th death anniversary of Guru Tegh Bahadur. Okay, Guru Tegh Bahadur was the 6th Guru of in Sikhism, and he was mainly remembered for his martyrdom because he fought against Aurangzeb to save the Kashmiri Pandits, mainly Kashmiri Hindus, to save the Kashmiri Hindus from the conversion, from the religious conversion. Okay. So, he is also called Banda Bahadur for his work. Okay. Now, this has been an important theme also, and religious theme have been recurring in UPSC prelims. So, go through this. So, this becomes an important topic. So, his martyrdom day was on 24th of November. Now, the basics about Guru Tegh Bahadur. So, he was born in 1621 in Amritsar. His father was 6th Sikh Guru. Okay. He was the 9th Sikh Guru. Tegh Bahadur was the 9th Sikh Guru. Okay, 9th Sikh Guru, and he was executed in Delhi by Mughal Emperor Aurangzeb. Okay, he was executed in a place called Shishganj Sahib, that is still situated in Chandni Chowk. If you go to Chandni Chowk, near the Chandni Chowk metro, you will see Shishganj Sahib. Okay. Now, what are the main teachings of Guru Tegh Bahadur? He protected the freedom of religion. As I already said that he was against the religious conversion of Aurangzeb, equality, justice and meditation, Naam Simran. So, this is a meditative practice that is generally practiced. Even if you go to Gurudwara, this is a very common practice, Naam Simran. Condemned forced conversion, advocated fearless and sacrifice, emphasized spiritualism over ritualism. Emphasized spiritualism over ritualism. Okay. And advocated fearlessness and sacrifice. He says that you should neither fear anyone or you should not even be someone who is being feared by others. Okay. So, both ways he advocated fearlessness. Now, what are the contributions? When it comes to Gurbani, he wrote few hymns that depicted the courage, universal brotherhood and moral rightness. He was the founder of the city of Anandpur Sahib in Punjab. Okay. Later, a very important Anandpur Sahib resolution is very important. Tell me in the comment section what is Anandpur Sahib resolution. Anandpur Sahib resolution. Okay. Later devoted into major Sikh center. Tell me about this. Anandpur Sahib resolution. Very important in post-independent Indian history. Resistance to religious oppression. Okay. oppose the forced conversion of Kashmiri Pandit, choose martyrdom to defend their right to practice their faith. Now, important places associated with him. So, he was born in Patna, birthplace of Guru Gobind. So, he was also born in Patna Sahib, and he established Anandpur Sahib. He was martyred at Gurudwara Shishganj Sahib, okay, and presently he was cremated in the site of Gurudwara Rakabganj Sahib. Okay, this is also in Delhi. This is near Raisina Hill. Okay, near Rashtrapati Bhavan. It's still situated. Okay. Now, going through the Sikh Gurus, all the 10 Sikh Gurus. First was Guru Nanak Dev. He founded the Sikh faith and taught us Ek Onkar. Ek Onkar is presence of one God. Gave us the Mool Mantra and started the Langar Seva. Okay, the Langar Seva that is still a very famous practice in all the Gurudwaras. Okay. Second was Guru Angad Dev. Angad Dev created Gurumukhi. Okay. The Gurumukhi is the script. Started a tradition of Akhada, okay, and expanded the original concept of Langar. Then comes the Guru Amar Das Ji, taught the importance of gender equality. Okay, the gender equality also introduced new custom of birth and death ceremony. If you see, the gender equality in Punjabi family is very progressive in nature. Is very progressive in nature. Okay. Then comes Guru Ramdas Ji, the fourth Guru, created his own town named after him called Amritsar, and later became an important place for Sikh. Now comes the Guru Arjan Dev as the fifth Guru, completed the construction of Harmandir Sahib, okay, the golden temple in Amritsar. This is the place where Akal Takht is placed. Okay. Amritsar, he is the first Guru to be martyred in Sikh faith. Okay. So, this is where Akal Takht is placed. Akal Takht means a throne that is beyond time. Okay. So, Akal Takht. Now, coming to the sixth Guru. Sixth Guru, Guru Har Gobind Singh, he was the father of Guru Tegh Bahadur and was a saint soldier. Okay, and developed the first Sikh army. His first Guru in Sikh faith to raise sword to protect the needy. Then comes Guru Harraj Ji. He was the seventh Guru. Guru Harraj Ji maintained the Sikh army which Guru Har Gobind Singh formed, and also worked on solidifying the teachings of Guru Nanak. Then comes Guru Har Krishna Sahib Ji, eighth Guru. Was only 5 when he became Guru. He was also famous with the name of Bala Peer, and he left when he was only 8 years old. Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji. Okay. So, Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji became Guru in 1664. Okay. Provided protection to both Sikhs and Hindus against the Islamic rule, and he also created the town of Anandpur. And then comes the 10th Guru. Guru Gobind Singh Ji created Khalsa, gave Sikhism an eternal Guru, Guru Granth Sahib Ji, and fought many wars for religious righteousness, gave Sikh a proper identity by introducing Panch Pyare, that means 5K, the 5K of Sikhism. In the comment section mention what are the 5 Ks of Sikhism. Okay. For Guru Gobind Singh, if you see, there is a very interesting thing. He gave a eternal Guru. So, what he did? He stopped the tradition of Gurus in Sikh, because he could see that this is a never ending process, and there are signs of corruption erupting in the lineage of Gurus. So, he decided that we will have an eternal Guru, Guru Granth Sahib, we will pray to it, and this tradition of Guru has to stop. Every teaching, all the teachings that is there in the Guru Granth Sahib was compiled and taken as the eternal Guru. Okay. Now, coming to the next topic, coming to third topic of the day. Okay. Negative net FDI negative for second straight month in September. So, there are two things, net negative and then there is gross FDI. Okay. If you see, there is gross FDI in India stood at 6.6 billion in September, 4.3% higher than in September last year. But there is a net negative for second straight month in September. So, what is the issue? कहीं बोल रहा है ज़्यादा हो रहा है, कहीं बोल रहा है कम हो रहा है. So, the outgoing FDI is greater than the incoming FDI. Okay, the flight of FDI, the flight of capital is larger than the incoming capital. That is the basic concept they are actually trying to report here. Okay. Now, again FDI has been a recurring theme and has been asked, direct question from FDI has come. Okay. So, FDI outflow is 6.8 billion where inflow is just 6.6 billion. Okay. So, this is a rare occurrence in Indian economic policy, particularly after 1991 LPG reforms. Now, coming to what is FDI? FDI is investment through equity instrument by a person resident or in 10% or more of the post issue paid equity capital of a diluted bid on a listed Indian company. Okay. So, it is a foreign investment in India and main purpose is long term investment involve management participation, brings technology and more stable than other forms of investment, particularly FPIs, which is generally less than 10%. Now, what is the major source of FDI in India? So, major source, major destination is Singapore, that that gives around 1/3 of India's FDI. Second is Mauritius, third is US. Initially Mauritius used to be first, now Singapore has taken over. Okay. So, percentage of total FDI. Now, this is the source of FDI. And if you see about the sectors, what is the destination? Okay. Mainly it goes into the service sector, followed by computer and hardware and then trading. Now, if you see the FDI inflows has been increasing, but the net FDI has fallen. Okay. It has reached a record number of $81.4 billion. By the way, this is 2024 data, 2024-25 financial year data. Okay. Now, FDI. When FDI is used to initiate some new project, it is called greenfield projects. When it is invested in something that is already there or either for leasing or just to enhance the capacity building, then it is called brownfield FDI. Now, coming to automatic route and government route. What are the types of FDI? Automatic route, under automatic route, non-resident of or Indian company does not require approval from the government. So, the approval involves the government entity. If approval involves government entity, it will be called government route. If it does not require a government approval, it will be called automatic route. Now, these are the sectors where through automatic route this percentages of investment is permissible. Okay. Now, FDI is prohibited particularly in few cases like gambling and betting, lottery, retail, atomic energy, housing and real estate, agriculture. If any sector is not open to private sector in India, okay, if Indian private sector cannot invest in any sector or any business, so in that case even FDI is not allowed in that business. So, this is the basic one of the basic parameters. Okay. Now, there are certain businesses where Indians are allowed, but others are not allowed. In that case also FDI will not be allowed. Now, What are the major agencies that are involved? FDI formulation policy by DPIIT, then RBI for regulation, and foreign investment facilitation portal FIFP for government route approvals is used. Okay. RBI used FERA and FEMA 1999 for the all the rules and regulations, and flight of the capital is ensured through this. Now, coming to what government is doing to attract FDI. FDI is very important for the capital formation. Now, what is government doing? Government has come up with PLI scheme, okay, Make in India, Gati Shakti, industrial corridors, Startup India, okay, sectoral reforms, reform in FDI policy across various sectors, invested friendly environment, Jan Vishwas Act of 2023, and also the number of regulatory clearances that was around 1200 has been reduced to around 70 clearances. So, this is a step towards ease of doing business. Okay. Then we have promotional agreement, competitive cooperative federalism. Okay. Then we have institutional mechanisms and all those things. So, government is also trying very aggressively to attract FDI in India. Now, coming on to the next topic, that is the Nelli massacre of 1983. Coming to next topic of the day, Nelli massacre. Okay. So, recently 2 reports about Nelli massacre was put forward in Assam Assembly. So, Mehta Commission inquiry understood, okay, and one more committee called Tiwari Commission. So, Tiwari Commission, both of the report were actually placed in Assam Assembly. Okay. Now, for you it is important to know what is Nelli massacre and what it is all about. So, in 1978 there was a sudden death of the MLA of the area, and there was a issue of by-elections. But it was seen that while by-election was about to being conducted, there was a huge influx of unknown localites who were there to cast votes, who were ready to cast votes. So, that would result in, so there was a change in demography of the area. So, in that case, the student union, okay, yeah, official Tiwari Commission and unofficial Mehta Commission. So, both of them submitted the report, and the report that they say are utterly opposing in nature, okay, they are opposing in nature. Submitted in 1984, but never officially released, concluded that holding of election during heights of Assam Assembly agitation triggered the violence. Exactly, they say held a opposite view, election could not have caused the outbreak. Okay. So, they are opposing each other's view. So, and due to this there has been no arrest related to Nelli massacre till now. Nelli massacre happened in Assam. It is a district. It is a village in central Assam. Okay. So, that is the main thing you will have to remember, and it was a communal violence. Nelli massacre was a communal violence. So, from 1800 to 3500 death tolls are being reported by various agencies, newspapers and bodies. Okay. Now, the context is led by All India Assam Union. So, when they saw a lot of influx of unknown localite, the All India Student Union asked to postpone the election, but the localite said no, we will have the election now itself, and there was clash that resulted in Nelli massacre. Okay. That is all you should be knowing about Nelli massacre in prelims. Now, the next news concerns about Hayli Gubbi volcanic eruption that recently happened in the Horn of Africa in Ethiopia. Okay, if you see, it happened in Ethiopia in the Horn of Africa. Okay, and the ashes and fumes are likely to travel in the northeast direction towards India. Okay, so this is a environmental hazard and has caused disruption, particularly in aviation sector. Now, volcano has been a recurring theme. Even in last 5 years we have seen multiple questions. So, we will see the issue. Now, volcanic dangerous for aircraft. Why is it dangerous for aircraft? So, what happens that there are abrasive volcanic ash particles. Okay. Now, what this abrasive volcanic ash particle contains? It contains gases and it contains very small silicate and glass particles. It is like vaporized glass particles. Okay. So, they can actually cause issue with jet engines, energy of the jet engine, because energy of the jet engine actually the jet engine works around 1500 degrees Celsius, and the abrasive volcanic particles becomes molten in around 1000 degrees Celsius. So, there is a concern that it might get into the jet engine and disrupt the working of the jet engine in a smooth manner. Okay. Now, so recently what happened? So, magma did not rise through, it was mainly the gases and abrasive materials. Okay. So, magma is yet to come out. So, it will come out. So, it has recently erupted, and first time in 12,000 years in the known history of mankind, this has erupted for the first time. Okay. Now, let us see the map. We all know that Africa is actually breaking into two tectonic blocks between Nubian plate and Somali plate. They are pulling apart at the rate of 6 to 7 millimeters per year. Then this creates active volcano, earthquake and fissure bends. So, this is the area of Red Sea where this has actually erupted. If you see, it has erupted somewhere here, okay, in Ethiopia, and it will go on to this side. So, this is a part of African Rift Valley. Okay. So, the disruption has caused in the Rift Valley itself. So, it is not a very that it is not very something that it could have been predicted, okay, that because volcano eruption in rift valleys are very common, volcanoes and earthquakes are very common. So, it is a very natural phenomena. Okay. So, this is where it has erupted. Now, if you see the adjoining areas, the adjoining volcano of the area, they are mostly shield volcano. Okay. So, magma will be of low viscosity, eruption usually will be less explosive and will form a stratovolcanoes. Okay. When magma comes out, then we will see this is the most likely occurrence, and this is the prediction that is going to happen. So, these are some famous volcanoes from the region, you can read through this. Coming on to the next topic of the day. So, recently Tejas crashed in Dubai Air Show, and it was performing a negative G maneuvering when it crashed. Okay. So, debate has been there, what was the need to go for negative G maneuvering. Generally negative G maneuvering is generally performed during the air shows and not particularly in the battlefield. Okay. So, if you see about what is the G maneuvering, okay, what is positive G and what is negative G. In positive G, the flight takes upward trajectory like this. Okay. So, from G to 9, it can go up to 9G with respect to Tejas. Okay. Blood moves to feet very quickly, and there is a possibility of blackout. This is also seen in case of divers who dive deep down in the ocean, and also with the divers who practice in the swimming pool, among the Olympic divers also. Okay. With respect to negative G, it takes a maneuver that comes directly to the ground. So, what happens that the blood rushes to the head. Okay. There are instances when the blood rushes to head, it has called brain hemorrhages also in certain cases. Okay. So, there is readout, there is reduced cognitive ability. So, decision making ability is paralyzed in this case, are less frequently used in combat due to psychological strain, but required for display pilots. Okay. And this is very difficult, negative G is very difficult, because since this is approaching the ground. So, at low altitude recovery time is minimal. So, if anything goes wrong, and since decision time is minimal and the cognitive ability have been compromised. So, the possibility of accidents is very high in negative G maneuvering. Okay. Now, coming to this aspect, display flying has a unique risk, including situation of 9G flying, human psychological limits, as we already discussed, many accidents due to loss of visibility, poor disorientation, spatial disorientation, aircraft behavior in extreme envelopes. Now, something about Tejas. Okay. So, Tejas is a light combat aircraft, LCA. LCA was actually conceptualized in 1983, went in production in 1986. Okay. And the first batch of Tejas came out in 2001, and it was inducted actually in 2016. Okay. The India's second indigenous fighter jet after HAL Marut. Okay. So, this was taken I think in 21 squadron. Okay. So, the purpose was designed for offensive air support, close combat and ground attack roles with respect to Tejas. Now, if you see the other details, fly-by control system, electronic system replacing mechanical linkages, and enhances stability in inherently unstable aircraft like Tejas. Composite is around 45% by weight, others generally carry the payload. Operation roles, air defense, ground attack, reconnaissance. It is designed to carry a range of air to air, air to surface, and precises guided weapons. Okay. And it has also radars, and BrahMos NG has been planned but not yet executed. Now, coming to the next topic, next prelims topic of the day. So, EU leadership has accepted the invite for chief guest at Republic Day. So, this is a news article that has been broken by Indian Express, but there is yet to be announced officially. Okay. So, this is from the news article, yet to be announced officially that EU is coming. If EU leaders come to India for Republic Day, this is the first time when EU leaders will be invited and will be accepting the Republic Day chief guest. President of EU and President of European Union Council. Okay. These two will be the chief guest in 2026 Republic Day celebration. Now, coming to the other part. So, this is a EU map. It is a supranational group of 27 country that has a economic and political bloc. 19 of these bloc use EU as their official currency. 8 EU members do not use the currency. This can be a potential question, which members of the EU do not use official currency of EU, do not use euro. Okay. It has 5.5% of the world's population, but controls around 1/5 of the global GDP. Okay.